What a jam! Skies coming through with Disciples of House, Stay Kev coming through with Amahloni. Mighty Metro FM, it's where you want to be. 90 minutes after 11 a.m. A very good morning to you and yours. Happy Wednesday, wherever you may be. www.metrofm.co.za. And of course, channel 801 DSTV Audio BK. Good morning to you. Hi. And of course, to you tuning in from 9 all the way to 12. Bless you. Thank you for your presence. We're entering our self-care corner right now. And of course, it's all about finances as always. And I need you to be prepared, whether you are taking down some notes or perhaps maybe even sending through a voice note. We'll let you know what question I have for you while we have our guests in studio talking about everything finances. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we come into our self-care corner, now some of us might have had a very hectic December. I'm going to say we've had a hectic December. If you haven't, and you're still coasting nice and easy when it comes to that money in the bank, please share your tips. Please. Maybe you are finding yourself, and I'll say ourselves, running a bit dry financially this month. So let's chat about the credit options available for you and I, who might be finding ourselves in a bit of a situation where we're trying to grapple at any funds possible. Maybe that opportunity of sending through that message to somebody very reliable to ask for finances, assistance, isn't going very well because they're also going through a tough time. Well, to help us with this conversation, we're joined by Rose. She's here looking gorgeous, CEO of Financial Journey. Good morning, Rose. Welcome back.
Morning, Cuscus. Morning, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, we're all back in one piece, even though it's raining all pets outside, cats, dogs, and other
Johannesburg is showing us fires with this rain, but I'm not complaining. I love the rain.
Yeah, anyway, I hope anyone who's affected by the bad rains are supported.
Sure.
Let's get on it.
Let's get on it.
Yeah.
Indeed. Ifambeni.
Hey, Fambe.
Rose, how are your finances looking this month?
Mine
Yours.
are fine.
Okay.
How are yours?
Yeah. That's why we're having this conversation. I need your help.
Well, we can appreciate that it's not everyone. And sometimes
100%.
it's not because we are irresponsible. Life happens, right? And if that has happened to you, well, let me start here. I think it's important to recognize that there are options that are outside of credit. I'm going to go speed through them.
Correct.
Because you asked me to talk about credit.
Please.
All right. But, most people, as we do coaching, we find that they have the resources in place to help them with their situations, their challenges. So perhaps start there. Try and look at what resources you have. Face your money. Look, calculate. Look at what you can do with what you have. And you know what? Is it Papa Penny was saying? I'm scared, but I will tie my liver. So tie your liver, tie your belt. Try and see where you can put the resources you have available on the important stuff and see what realistically you need extra.
Can I say aye after that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, on. Right. And some of us have savings, obviously, and you can tap into that. We live in a gig economy. If you have the skills and they are sellable, people are covering books for money, for instance.
100%.
Anything
yes.
that you think can bring you quick cash, sell something if it's something that is needed in January and see if that can help you. If that can't help you, then let's talk about credit.
Can we break down the credit options that many people are exposed to? Free information at that. But of course, the details and whether to take it or not, how to go about it, and the dangers, not just a need that is going to be satisfied now, but also a bit of maybe just assistance when it comes to the trouble parts, the red lights that start flickering throughout the year.
All right. Okay, so what I've prepared for you is in fours. We're in 2024. Right? I already gave you 4 things when it comes to non-credit things. It was like do your calculation, savings, sell something, gig economy. Then, right now, let's talk about 4 things, which are credit products that you could use if you want a quick cash. Now, the first part is personal loans. That space has a multiplicity of products.
Sure.
I'm going to name the 4 that I think are most used and they're most accessible. And I'll talk about the dangers and everything else. So there's personal loans, obviously, which is a loan, as most of us know. There's credit cards. There's payday loans. There's consolidation loans. Why did you go back like
the payday loan? Yeah, that one.
That's cash loans. They're available. Sure. We're saying it like it is. That's what is there on the market.
Yes.
They're dangerous. Let's agree.
Yes.
Now let's talk about interest. Interest is not equal. Not all credit products has equal interest. Now I'm going to speed through those because they're really important and they help you to decide which product you can go with. Payday loans are the most expensive. Right?
That's why my face went,
They're normally charged at about 5% per month, not per year. 5% per month. So if you want to calculate APRs and if you know finances, go and calculate what that is. It's really enormous. Consolidation really sits in the personal loan space. Usually it tracks the highest interest. Remember, in the interest space, there's a bracket that is given to the credit providers in terms of what they could charge us. In personal loan space, sometimes they look at your profile so that they can determine what interest to charge you.
Sure.
The maximum currently with the repo rate where it is 29.25%. So consolidation usually goes towards that end when it charges you interest. So just bear that in mind. And then credit cards are, maximum is about 22.25%, and they also attract interest according to profiles, generally speaking. So I would like to say, talk to an expert.
Absolutely.
And see what works best for you. Not all products will work for everybody. It depends on the circumstances and other things. Now, 100%. That is just credit products. I want to talk to you about something called credit lines.
We're listening.
I love that because ngesiZulu bebazothi umuqa wesikweleti. Anyway, that is credit lines. So line of credit is, for instance, 4 things again. So line of credit could be your credit card. It could be your home. There's something called Haylock.
Hair as in hair muriri lock?
I think Beyonce, man. Halo.
Oh, Haylock. I see. Yeah. Okay.
I call it Haylock, but it's HELOC. Home equity line of credit.
Okay.
You can get a home equity loan. You can get also an overdraft as a line of credit. So it's accessing credit. Now let me talk about each of them. A credit card, please find out what credit cards work like. One day, please put that as a topic on the show.
Done.
Right? Credit card is really interesting. If you understand how to use it, you could really, really benefit from it. Now, I want to talk about the terms that are new right now in more detail. So overdrafts,
Correct.
Go to your bank, ask to access an overdraft. That could give you immediate cash.
Sure.
Agreed?
Sure.
Sharp. So if you have an asset, let's talk about a home because most of us have homes. Otherwise, you can do the same with your stocks, bonds, shares, and so forth. Now, you can access your home equity. Equity is the difference between what you owe and the value of your property. So when you buy a house today, your debt is above the value of the property. If you continue paying, at some point, your credit, your balance decreases. And then at some point, it will be lower. In terms of what you owe versus the house value. So if maybe the difference is 100,000, just making an example, then you can use that as equity. You can borrow against it.
I'm going to hold you there, Rose.
All right.
I want us to also just ponder on the fact that I need you to send us a voice note right now while we have Rose in studio. Based on your experiences in Jan, what credit mistakes should people just be mindful of? And what tips would you give us who are trying to avoid running dry financially? While you get some water, while I get some water as well, take in what Rose is saying, talking all things credit, finances, Self-Care Corner. It's Tyla. What a year she's had. How's 2024 going to look like for her? Well, Mduduzi Ncube coming through with Mafigi Zolo Njalo. 36 minutes after 11 a.m. Just a bit of a time check if you're wondering what the time is on this 10th day of Jan 2024. And of course, on a beautiful Wednesday morning, we are in our Self-Care Corner. Welcome. Self-care is self-love indeed. Talking about emergency credit and the options for you as the consumer. Now, a lot of us might be looking to get emergency credit during this time of the year. What are the best choices? Of course, to help us through this conversation is Rose, CEO at Financial Journey. And before we went for our news, She was talking about home equity. I want us to continue there because we also do have voice notes. You sending us perhaps maybe a question that you have for Rose when it comes to emergency credit, maybe some understanding that you need, perhaps an option that you've been pondering around but not too sure. Otherwise, Rose, let's continue from home equity.
All right, so talk to your bank if you have a home loan and find out what options you have where you can use the equity you have on your home. I'll give you the three that are, most accessible. You on your home loan, you can ask for an access bond. I think in most cases, it's what it's called.
Sure.
Then you can access. So as you're paying and your balance is reducing, you can access the difference as an emergency.
Okay.
So if you have an emergency, you can access those funds. Obviously, they will increase your balance on your existing home loan. Or you can have a home equity loan. That is a separate agreement, obviously using your equity, and they give you a loan, where you will be charged a fixed interest. Or HALOC. HALOC works like a credit card. So you do have a certain access point. So like a credit, you have a limit, so to speak,
sure,
based on your equity, and you'll pay interest on what you have used as opposed to the full amount, just like a credit card. But obviously, it's on a premise of your home equity, the current equity that you have on your home.
Sure.
So that's that. There's another thing which is very, very interesting on a credit card, which you can access. Go to your bank as well and find out how you can have a balance transfer feature added onto your credit card.
Tell me more.
So it means you have a credit card with Bank A and you also have, say you have another credit card with Bank B and you have a personal loan elsewhere and so forth. So on your Bank B and C and so forth balances, you can put all of them in Bank A's credit card what do you call it? Budget facility. Sort of like a consolidation.
I see.
But you're using your credit card to do that.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So that can assist you to sort of build not equity, but you can build your credit score that way and so forth. But also be careful. Like I said, use an expert so that you know that these things don't make your situation far worse than what it is at the moment. But those can help you to also free up on the credit card on Bank B. The balance there or the limit there so that you can use the cash there immediately. Right. So there's tricks and all sorts of things going on.
These tricks. I know that the breakers are taking notes. I know.
Yeah, but keep in mind,
sure,
all of these things are attracting interest fees, charges. Yeah. The terms of repayment, look at that. Even when you put the consolidation into your credit card, budget facility gives you options, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Just make sure that you borrow below your affordability. In other words, make sure that what you pay gives you leeway. If you can afford 500 a month, rather take something that's going to say, well, pay 200 a month so that you can add and pay 500 and then you pay less interest 100%. At the end of the day. 100%. But make sure that you also talk to an expert. Please. I will not say that enough.
Please.
All right. And have a strategy in place.
100%. Rose, talking about having a strategy in place and also having an expert by your side, especially when we do listen to this kind of information that could be assisting you, could assist you in the future. Perhaps maybe you know all things about this, but some people don't. Take a listen to some voice note, Rose.
Okay.
Hi, I just wanted to find out, how do you get any type of credit or loan?
Oh, great question.
Yeah, that's
Rose,
very tough.
I want to get credit, but my name, debt review, what do I do? Where do I go?
Okay, so with debt review, you have an option to talk, always you have an option to talk to your debt counselor, talk about your situation. If your situation has changed, the debt counselor can, if your situation has changed temporarily or on a long-term basis, your debt counselor can change the terms of your debt counseling agreement. So if you say, for instance, this month it's tough, I can't pay, a debt counselor can arrange for you not to pay for a month, for instance. But that has to be discussed and they have to obviously do the admin that is going with it. There's a form called 17.3, Form 17.3, I think. It talks about change of circumstances and they can, debt counselor is there to do the admin for you.
Sure.
So they can make arrangements so that your credit providers know not to expect the installment so that you can have a break for a month or so. And also, I can't stress this enough. Talk to your debt counselor. Just don't sit there and die in silence. And then also, I think on that point, we also have people who are not under debt review, but they are blacklisted. I'm saying that in inverted commas.
Sure.
Payday loans usually and the high interest loans are usually for high risk clients who are in arrears and they have all the hohos. So that's where you could end up. But obviously, there's consequences there.
All right, next voice note. We'll wrap it up.
Good morning, Kuto.
Morning.
I'd like to know, why is it important to have a good credit score? And how does having a good credit score help you?
Why does it help to have a good credit score, Rose?
It helps you to get better interest rates. That is the shortest answer. I usually make an example to say, Kuto, you know me, right?
Sure.
If I ask you for 10,000 rands today, would you give it to me? If you had it.
Look, as a first-time person asking me this, listen, I would give it to you.
Let's
I'm
talk after
joking.
the show. Right.
You know I'm kidding, right?
No, absolutely. So
Sure.
I use that example to
Yeah.
say, if you get to the bank and you ask for 300,000, 30,000, do they know you?
No, they don't.
So how do they trust you? So a credit score is an indicator that tells you how much they can trust you,
Sure.
how well you use credit so that they can trust you. So then they can give you favorable interest rates.
Done.
That's a short answer.
Done. But do know, Rose, that I do trust you.
Oh, thank you.
I do. I
Again,
mean-
let's talk after the show.
Rose, if anyone would like to get any assistance from yourself, perhaps even the company, talking about Financial Journey, how can we go about that?
All right, I'm available on my email address, rose@financialjourney.co.za. We have an office and it has a phone number. It's 011-234-2435. And we are available on social media platforms. And you can also look at our website, www.financialjourney.co.za.
And there she is, Rose, ladies and gentlemen, of course, CEO at Financial Journey. Thank you very much, Rose. Much love. All the best with your credit, baby.
It's a very lovely long Jan.
Oof. Oof. Hey, Coco SA. I never
the
thought.
best. Sharp.